Hey everyone, welcome to ACMMG061 on Maths. This is your Fluency 1 lesson. In this lesson we will look at measuring the mass of objects, comparing the mass of objects, and ordering the mass of objects. Here we have a scale. We call this a kitchen scale. Kitchen scales are generally used to weigh things that in grams. Things that are in kilograms, we use something called a bathroom scale, which uses kilograms on the dial. To measure things using a kitchen scale, we usually need to place a container on top of the kitchen scale. So here I am putting my container on top of the kitchen scales. Then I need to readjust so that the red indicator is at the 0 on my kitchen scale. So I need to spin it all the way around just so that it's on the 0. Now whatever I weigh, I will get the mass of the item and not the mass of the container as well. There it is, the red on the 0. That says 0 grams. Now I'm going to grab an apple and pop my apple into the container, and then I can check below and see how much it weighs. Now you can see on the scale that the red indicator has moved, and if you look, it is just over the dark black line, which we can see just here. It's the one that is halfway between the 0 and the 200 grams. So now we need to turn our brains on and think about what number is on a number line would be between 0 and 200. What number is directly between 0 and 200? It is 100. So that darker line there represents 100 grams. Now you'll notice that the red indicator is just past the very dark black line, and it's just on the little fainter black line next to it. So now we need to think about the representation of that small black line. So we know that it's over 100 grams, but it's between 100 and 200. I can see that there are 4 little black lines between each bolder black indicator. So that means that it would represent, each one of those little lines represents 25 grams. So now I can add and see that this is 100, and then if it's on the one next to it, it would be 125 grams. So we have a total mass of 125 grams for that one apple. Let's add a second apple in and see what happens. Now let's have a look and try and measure that mass again. Now when we look at that little red indicator, it's telling us that it is on the black line just before 200 grams. So we could say that 2 apples that we are weighing weigh a grand total of 175 grams, according to the kitchen scales that we were using. Now we're going to have a look at weighing things on bathroom scales using kilograms. So on this bathroom scale, you'll notice that the kilograms are the numbers that are all written in red on the dial. So we can see those numbers down here. So that's the only number that we are going to pay attention to. Like the kitchen scales, the bathroom scales also has a little red indicator that helps us to tell us how much things weigh. When we look at the bathroom scales, if I press down on it firmly, the scale changes, and the red indicator tells us how much it weighs as to how much weight is put on the scale. Now if we jump on the scales and we have a look, again we want to see where that red indicator is. Now I can see, and you see it in comparison to the red numbers on this scale, remember, because they are the numbers that are in kilograms. So I can see that the red indicator has moved to halfway between 70 and 80. Now we need to think about that as if it was a number line. What number is exactly halfway between 70 and 80 on a number line? The number 75 is exactly halfway, so the red indicator is pointing to 75. We would say that the total mass on the bathroom scales is 75 kilograms. Now we're going to have a look at comparing the mass of objects. I've got a few different things on my screen here. I have a chocolate bar which weighs 15 grams over here. I have a brick that weighs 2 kilograms. I have a person who weighs 86 kilograms. I have a pie, nice hot warm pie for 25 grams. And I have a dog, a big dog that weighs 32 kilograms. We're just going to have a discussion about what would weigh more, what would weigh the least. So on that page, I want you to think about what item there has the least mass. Let's have a look and compare. We know that grams is what we use before we get to kilograms. So grams is what we use to weigh things that are smaller. It is the metric unit that we use for lighter objects. And kilograms is what we use when things get heavier. And we work our way up from there. So let's have a look. I would say that the chocolate bar for 15 grams is the lightest thing on that page. Now I want you to look at the heaviest. Which is the heaviest? Is it the dog? No, the dog's only 32 kilograms. The brick's only 2 kilograms and the pie's 25 grams, so that's out straight away. So it's the man over here for 86 kilograms. Now I want you to think about what item on this page has the least mass that is weighed in kilograms. What item has the least mass but is still weighed in kilograms? So everything in grams we can cancel out. We don't need to look at those. We're only looking at items that are weighed in kilograms. Yep, that's correct. The brick has the least mass. Its mass is 2 kilograms. It is the least mass of those items on the page weighed in kilograms. Now what we're going to do with these items, we're going to order them according to their mass, from the least mass to the greatest mass. So I'm going to start with the item with the least mass on this page. Now we spoke about it on the previous slide and we said that the least mass was this chocolate bar over here for 15 grams. So I'm just going to rearrange a few different things and pop that here because it has the least mass. Now I'm looking at the mass of the items that I have left. I have the pie, the dog, the brick and the man. So I'm looking for something that is in grams still. So the pie is the only item left that is still weighed in grams. It has 25 grams. Alright, so the next item I'm looking for, out of those 3 items that are left, which item has the least mass? It is the brick at 2 kilograms. The brick at 2 kilograms has the least mass out of the items that were left. Now I'm looking at the man or the dog. The dog has a mass of 32 kilograms and the man has a mass of 86. So it's going to be the dog that comes next as we are ordering these objects according to mass. And the man, last but not least, of course, because he is the greatest mass. So if we're ordering these items according to their mass from the least amount of mass to the greatest amount of mass, we have the chocolate bar at 15 grams, the pie at 25 grams, the brick at 2 kilograms, the dog at 32 kilograms, followed by the man at 86 kilograms. Congratulations guys, you have just completed the fluency lesson on measuring, comparing and ordering items of mass. Well done. Keep up the hard work and take your time with the following activities. Don't rush them and make sure they are quality. Well done.